Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your content creator ACCOUNT. Born in Germany in 1879, Albert Einstein was one of the most influential physicists of the 20th century, and one of the greatest thinkers of all time. He was a celebrity famous for his wit as well as his genius, and was a larger-than-life figure. Here are 30 mind-blowing facts about this brilliant scientist. Number 1. The People's Scientist. Albert Einstein was known as the People's Scientist because of his down-to-earth sense of humor and his approachable manner. His hair was always uncombed, clothing disheveled, and he never wore socks, not even when visiting President Roosevelt at the White House. Number 2. A musical mind. Einstein was a talented violinist. He began music lessons at age 5 but fell in love with music when he discovered Mozart's violin sonatas at age 13. His violin was nicknamed Lena, and he said that the most joy in his life came from his violin. Number 3. Einstein never took his academics seriously but never failed math. Einstein was not actually a poor student. He never failed math. At age 16, he failed his entrance exam to the Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, but only because he struggled with the non-science subjects, especially French. Einstein continued to study and was able to attend the school the following year. Number 4. The father of the atomic bomb. Fearing a German nuclear bomb, Einstein wrote a letter to President Roosevelt encouraging him to work on a nuclear weapon. This led to the creation of the Manhattan Project, which was responsible for the atomic bomb. His famous equation E=mc2 also made the bomb theoretically possible. Number 5. President Einstein almost. In 1952, Albert Einstein was offered the chance to be president of Israel. He turned down the offer, insisting that he was unqualified. Number 6. He created strict rules for his first wife, worst husband. When Einstein's marriage to his cousin Mileva Maric was failing, he gave her a list of rules for remaining together. The list demanded that she be his maid, but should expect no affection or attention from him. After a few months, she left him, and 5 years later, filed for divorce. Number 7. The Einstein Syndrome. Einstein didn't start speaking until age 3 or 4. When he did, his first sentence was to complain at dinner that the soup was too hot. When asked why he hadn't spoken before then, he replied, because up to now, everything was in order. Einstein was born with what his family thought was a grotesquely oversized head. The doctor was able to convince them that his body would catch up. Once it did, his grandmother complained to his parents he was too fat. Number 8. He thinks before he speaks. Up until he was 9, Einstein would think through what he wanted to say before speaking. He preferred to practice his sentences in his head or under his breath until he got them right. Number 9. He had a terrible memory. Einstein's memory was notoriously poor. He was unable to remember dates and could not remember his own phone number. As a student, one of his teachers claimed that he had a memory like a sieve. Once when he was traveling on a train, the conductor approached to collect his ticket. Einstein began searching his pockets, but the conductor recognized him and said he could ride for free. Einstein responded, "Thank you, but if I don't find my ticket, I don't know where to get down." When questioned about why he had to look up his phone number, Einstein replied, "Why should I memorize something I can so easily get from a book?" Number 10. The case of the stolen brain. When Einstein died, a man named Thomas Harvey performed an illegal autopsy and stole Einstein's brain. For decades, he kept pieces of the preserved brain in 2 mason jars, which he later returned. Today, the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia is the only place where the public can view Einstein's brain. Number 11. He renounced his German citizenship. In 1896, Einstein followed his parents to Italy but would have been accused of desertion if he didn't report for conscription in Germany. To avoid military service, he renounced his German citizenship at age 17. Number 12. Reluctantly German again. When Einstein was sworn in as a member of the Prussian Academy of Sciences in 1921, he was considered a state official. Since only ethnic German citizens could be state officials, he was forced to retake his German citizenship. Number 13. It took Einstein 9 years to get a job. Odd jobs. Einstein graduated with a teaching degree, but couldn't get hired at a university. In 1902, he got a job at the patent office in Bern, which he held for 7 years. The job was boring, and gave him lots of time to work on his theories. Number 14. Miracle Year of Einstein. In 1905, Einstein's miracle year, he published his 4 different academic papers. They cemented his theories on the principle of relativity, and among them was the paper that contained the famous formula E=mc2. Number 15. The Lost Theory. Einstein played around with an alternative to the Big Bang theory. The theory proposed that the universe expanded steadily and eternally instead of all at once in a Big Bang. Einstein later abandoned the theory, and the paper was never published. Number 16. His biggest blunder. Einstein was the first to discover the equation that showed the universe is expanding, but he thought it was a mistake. Years later, Hubble's telescope confirmed that the theory of relativity was correct, and his biggest blunder was thinking he was wrong. Number 17. Einstein invented a refrigerator. Einstein and his colleague Leo Szilard designed an absorption refrigerator that had no moving parts and required no electricity. The fridge never became a commercial product, largely due to the discovery of Freon. Number 18. Keep calm, smoke a pipe. Einstein loved to smoke. He believed that pipe smoking contributes to a somewhat calm and objective judgment in all human affairs. He gave up smoking on doctors' instructions, but didn't give up the pipes themselves. He would often stick one into his mouth and chew on it. Number 19. Einstein the Sailor Man. Einstein loved to sail. His boat was called Tienef, which is Yiddish for worthless or junk, and it equally described his sailing skills. Not only was he a lousy sailor, but he didn't even know how to swim. Number 20. Einstein's Nobel Prize. Einstein never won a Nobel Prize for the general or special theory of relativity. He was awarded the prize in 1921 for his work on the photoelectric effect. Number 21. The Big Photograph, Say Cheese. As he left his 72nd birthday party, Einstein was surrounded by photographers. Tired of fake smiling, he stuck his tongue out instead. Einstein ordered 9 pictures for personal use, and signed one of them for a reporter. That photograph sold at an auction for $74,324. Number 22. Einstein illegitimate daughter. What happened to baby Liesl? When he was 22 years old, Einstein had an illegitimate daughter. The baby, named Liesl, disappeared from historical records shortly after her birth. Today, her fate is still unknown. Number 23. Oddly shaped brain. Einstein's brain was overall smaller than average, but the parietal lobes were 15% wider than normal. These areas are linked to mathematical ability, and visual and spatial awareness. Researchers believe that this is why Einstein tackled scientific thought the way he did. Number 24. Why drive when you can walk? Einstein never had a car of his own, and he never learned to drive. He always conveyed himself on his bicycle. If he needed to go somewhere by car, he had friends or a chauffeur drove him. Number 25. Einsteinium, a periodic table element. Einsteinium is the 99th element on the periodic table. It's named after Albert Einstein, though he actually had nothing to do with its discovery or research. Number 26. My winnings for a divorce. Einstein made an unusual bargain with his first wife. In exchange for a divorce, he promised to give her the winnings from his anticipated Nobel Prize. 3 years later, when Einstein won the prize, he gave her the money. Number 27. Einstein's advice to a little girl who wanted to be a scientist. In a letter from a little girl in South Africa, she explained to Einstein that she had now become resigned to being a girl. He responded, "I do not mind that you are a girl, but the main thing is that you yourself do not mind. There is no reason for it." Number 28. He could have extended his life. When Einstein entered the hospital 2 days before his death, doctors suggested surgery, he refused. He felt that prolonging life artificially was tasteless. Number 29. The signature for a buck. Einstein's wife Elsa managed his fan mail and collected $1 for an autograph and $5 for a photograph. Einstein donated the proceeds to charity. Number 30. Einstein was a refugee after a $5,000 was placed on his head. Einstein realized his life was at risk after Hitler assumed power in Germany. A Nazi magazine in Germany printed an enemies list, and Einstein was on it listed as not yet hanged. It also offered a $5,000 bounty for his head. Einstein fled to Belgium, where he learned that his boat and cottage had been seized. He then escaped to England, and he was kept under armed protection until he found safety in America. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and on my post notification. Please stay home and stay safe. Let's fight this pandemic together. Follow me on Instagram at ACCOUNT.